Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's video is an album review on 1983's, or is 1984, Simple Minds record, Sparkle in the Rain. Here's my original CD, and there's the original copy of the vinyl. Um, this is an interesting listen. Um, I think I got this album kind of late. Probably I got this album somewhere in um, it's interesting. I have an interesting story about Simple Minds. So, um, when See the Light came out in '87, that live album out, I was all about it. My older sister had it. I loved it. Um, but, I didn't really go back and check out the early Simple Minds stuff. And then one day and then I remember when See the Lights, the Real World came out in 1991. I had that cassette. I liked that cassette. I bought that. But still didn't go back and listen to the early Simple Mind stuff. For some reason, I didn't know that they were that good early on. Even though See the Lights had a couple songs from I really a couple songs from the earlier period. I really didn't know that they had so much strong early stuff until one day in 1995. I was like employee of the month at I was working security at Target, and I was like 19, I think, and I was like employee of the month, and they, for my present or gift or whatever, they said I could pick out, something that was a $20 value or something like that. So of course I go to the CD section, and there's nothing in Target that I don't have. I'm just like, I don't know. And so I picked up New Gold Dream by Simple Minds, and I was blown away. And then I went and got back all their old stuff. I got like every early song on album. I got every vinyl. I got everything from like '79 to '91. I don't like the rock period in the '90s that of that album in '95. I didn't or '94. I didn't like that album, and I liked Real World, and then of course New Gold Dream, Sparkle in the Rain. I just really liked. But the album that first got us in Simple Minds was my brother had the '85 album when it came out. Once Upon a Dream or Once Upon a Time. We used to listen to that album all the time. And again, then See the Lights. I mean, that live album came out, and so every album that did come out after that, I really liked and enjoyed. But for some reason, it did take me till 1995 to go back and pick up New Gold Dream on accident, and then be like, wow, this old stuff's so great. And then I heard I Travel, and I got this one, and then Theme of Great Cities, and all the Singing Out the Angel, and all the good keyboard songs they have. Just, I'm still 30 years later, still being wowed by their music when I go back and listen to some of these albums. I think the world of Simple Minds, and I think over the years they're growing. Where some bands are kind of like I'm looking back at, maybe not as fondly as I used to. I'm trying to think of a band where I really loved a lot, but then I'm kind of looking back and like they're a little bit lesser, not much, but I can't really think of any offhand. But Simple Minds is one that's definitely grown over the last 30 years for me. And so yeah, this is we're gonna review their Sparkle in the Rain album. And it's an interesting, you know, I'll just give that opinion at the end because it's more about the overall. So first song, Up on the Catwalk. Wow, what an awesome song! Just the big drumming, the Gainer, such an amazing drummer. I mean, he is so aggressive on the drums and the toms and stuff like that. Just a powerful drummer. I really like Jim Kerr's singing on the song, the riffs, the keyboards. It's got like constant crescendos kind of going on in this song. Like the verses are sort of like bridges, so when the choruses come, um, they don't go up that high, and so everything is just kind of like feels like songs. I've said this before, but the traditional way of doing a song is kind of verse and then chorus and then kind of come down to verse again and then chorus and then bridge, and then back to a chorus. So if you kind of go up, down, and then on the second one, chorus, you kind of go to the bridge, keep the momentum a little bit, and then kind of go a little bit higher, right? And just close it out. And that's kind of a traditional song. 3 choruses, 2 verses, maybe a bridge in there of some sort, whether it be an instrumental or comes some kind of solo, or maybe it's a little bit more vocal part, and then kind of fades out, right? And put my battery in here. It's about to die. Um, but hopefully it doesn't die. But let me make sure this doesn't die here. I'm at 6%. Plugged it in, so hopefully I never ran the camera with the battery low, but yeah, 7%. Okay. What was I saying? So in this particular song, there's the verses are kind of like bridges. So it starts in the middle and it's kind of going up, and it's kind of not really going down to a verse. You know what I mean? So it's just the energy is just constant, and it feels like kind of like an extension of the crescendo, and it's just constantly high, and so it's constantly in the chorus, and I think that is so unique and so subliminally. That's such a creative. I wouldn't say it's a engineering technique like a fade out. Like, if you guys don't know, the reason why they did fade outs in the 60s and 70s, especially because it was kind of an engineering trick where you fade out the song, and by doing the fade out on the chorus, it makes you subliminally want to play the song again, but also it makes you kind of sing the song, right? So you're singing along with the chorus, and then it fades out, right? And then you're singing, right? So it kind of makes you sing it. So it makes you kind of become one with it and being catchy, and you enjoying the song like that by singing, and that's kind of the sing along part of and the catchiness of a fade out, and it's sort of making you want to play it again, and that's kind of an engineering trick. And this is kind of another kind of, I wouldn't say it's an engineering kind of trick, but it's a creative way to do a song because it's constantly in the crescendo. Um, Again, it's one of his best. I think one of his best vocal performances on this album for sure. One of his most versatile performances. I think the fade out is brilliant. The keyboards and the bass. I got it 4.5 stars. Yeah, it's just an excellent song. It's right in between. It's right. It's verging on an all-time classic. Like it's definitely one of the top 10 Simple Minds tracks for me for sure. Up on the Catwalk, just amazing. Um, I need to get the 12-inch single of that. Track number 2, Book of Brilliant Things. Sorry if you can hear my fan. I don't know why my laptop is hot today. I guess it's been on all day. Book of Brilliant Things, smooth. All the instrumentation is good. The piano. The end kind of runs out of steam a little bit. The chorus isn't great. It's okay, but the first half is a lot better, I think, than the second half. But that's me being really particular, a little bit picky. I still got a very good track. It's 3 1/4 song, so it's definitely a really good song. I really like the song. The piano is super good on it. Track 3, Speed Your Love to Me. This is my. This is equally as a good song as Up on the Catwalk. It's just immediately strong. It does the same thing with the constantly crescendoing thing. It also does on here. Like there's really no verses on here. Not like a traditional verse. Like it gets right into it and it's immediately strong. Piano, guitar riff. Mel is killing it on the drums. Intense. Chorus is beautiful. Powerful singing. Again, great performance by Jim Kerr. I got it 4.5 stars. Just, the album is off to a great start. Like the first half of this album is phenomenal. Track 4, Waterfront. There's a single for Water in the Front, Hunter and the Hunted. Man, what a great B-side, right? Steve Lillywhite, 1983. Beautiful version of this album. Mint, mint, minty mint. Near mint. Okay, it's not sealed. It's near mint. Track, yeah, 4, Waterfront. Very good song. I don't like it as much as maybe like other people do. A lot of people think it's like a Simple Minds classic. For me, I don't feel like it's a classic Simple Minds song. I do, but I don't. It's not a classic maybe to me. I think it's a very good song. It's moody, bass line, keyboards. It's all good. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I think it lacks a little bit of energy for me. And it's just like, when I compare it with like Up in the Catwalk or Speed Your Love to me, I just don't think it's as close to that. But, I still think it's a very good song. I got it 3 stars. East at Easter. Oh man, this track I wanted to rate 4 stars so much, but I'm so used to playing the live in '89, the Verona. The If you guys ever seen the '89 tour DVD, um, where they're doing East to Easter, or even the album version on, or the version on uh, City of Lights, the '87 album version, the live album. Like the East to Easter version East at Easter version is so amazing, especially the '89 one. Like I wanted to give this 4 stars so bad, but I feel like the album version just isn't as good. I got 3 3/4 songs. Just Jim Kerr is super powerful on this, singing on this. Jim Kerr is such an underrated singer, I feel like. And the great thing about Jim Kerr is not a lot of singers can ad lib live and get away with it like he can, and he does it because he's got such a great charisma. Love the keyboards, but this version is just really close to being 4 stars, and I want to give it 4 stars because of the other ones, but this one I can't. Got 3 3/4 stars, so really close. And then the second half of the album. The second half of this album, shame, shame. This was New Gold Dream is the best Simple Minds album. Most people will say that. I have to agree. I think this album in some ways is very close, and then some ways I think it's so far. And the only reason why I think it's so far is because the second half of this album is just opportunities. Started out so good. 4.5 stars, 3 1/4, 4.5 stars, 3 stars, 3 3/4 stars. It's almost averaging. Um, it's almost averaging over a 3.5 star through the first 5 stars. That's super strong. Track 6, Street Hassle. I gave it 1 star. It's okay. And that I think that'd be nice on that one. Here's the opportunity for this album. This album is right before Once Upon a Time, right? New Gold Dream is the pinnacle of, especially the pinnacle of their growing period, and also the pinnacle of their sort of abstract ways kind of coming together and kind of combining with their, I wouldn't say pop sensibilities, but their talent really comes out in all the ways, in all the songs, in all the ways they can on New Old Dream. Here, Street Hassle and The King Inside of Me, and even A White Hot Day to an extent, they all kind of have like a big sounding. They sound like they're outtakes for the next album, Once Upon a Time. And if you listen to hardcore Simple Mind fans, I'm in the middle. A lot of people will say that that album and their stadium rock sort of changed during that time, kind of affected their career, and then their '89 album wasn't that great. Um, you know, and then they, had a hard time recovering from that, from that low, even though Belfast was the #1 song, the 1989 album was not received very well. In fact, after having huge tracks like, like 3 top 10 songs off Once Upon a Time. You know, first of all, it took too long for the next album to come out. It didn't come out until '89, so in 4 years, pretty much everybody in America forgot about Simple Minds. And when that album came out, there wasn't even a top there wasn't even a top 100 song on that song. There's really no traditional Simple Minds track on there. Even though Belfast hit number one in UK, just not a really good album. And but in some ways, this is a these songs on the second half of the CD. That's what really started it. I think they kind of like were like, this is the sound we're going for. And then the first half is like New Old Dream. Those songs fit perfectly in New Old Dream. The second half sort of sound like B-sides into Once Upon a Time, and it really hurts the album. Street Hustle, I got 1 star. White Hot Day is a little bit better. The verses are good. Chorus is okay. I got 2 stars. It's that good. Um, and then I'll go to track number 9 real quick. The Kick Inside of Me. Again, 1 star. Now the two good songs on the second half of the album, See Moon Cry Like a Baby. I really think this is the better one, the best song of the last 5. It's got a nice groove to it. The keyboard is great. I really feel like it's the underrated song on the album. I really like this song. Um, Again, it's really underrated. I got it 3.5 stars. I really like the way he sings it. It's a cool song. It's a cool song. And then you have a Shake Off the Ghost, which is the instrumental one. Ends the album. It's a strong instrumental keyboard. The only concern I have is it doesn't really ruin the rating of it, but it does sound like the B side of Don't You Forget About Me, which is the African Chimes song. It has a keyboard in it that sounds very similar to African Chimes, and it reminds me of it a lot. Um, Probably it was made around the same time because I think they're both around 84, 85, maybe 83, 84. But 3 stars on that. Still not going to affect my rating on that. I still think it's a good instrumental. It came out first too, so um, maybe African Chime sounds like this, right? So I do like African Chimes better though. But yeah, when I count up the ratings, 29 stars divided by 10, 2.90, really strong. Man, you take out those 2 1 stars though. 27 that divided by 8. That's almost 3.5. That's a really strong album. Those 2 songs really killed this ranking of this album. The overall good of it, some classic songs on here. Lots of very good songs. Prime of their career. Mixing is strong. Good producing by Stephen Lillywhite. Bad. The bad about this album, a few stinkers. A couple songs really kind of kill it. In some ways, this is the other thing. It's kind of a question mark. In some ways, those songs are the start of their bigger sound that hardcore fans don't like, and that's kind of just repeating what I talked about earlier. It's a little flat on the dynamics of the album, but it's 1983. It's understandable. 84 or whatever it is. Um, but yeah, I mean, 7 of the 10 tracks are above very good. So this is a really strong album still, even with 2 1-star songs on it. Since it's at 2.90, it's really close to 3. But considering, I can still kind of, I still feel like the songs on the first half, and then still 7 out of 10 songs or 3 stars are very good or better. I feel pretty confident in putting it into very good, and I feel even more confident, or I feel even more good about it to be in the higher range of very good. I feel like the highs on here really kind of pushed it even farther into the very good. I have it on the high side of very good. It's 77 out of 100. Really strong album, even with a couple stinkers. You know, Took those 2 tracks on and put 2 other tracks. Even if they're 2 stars, this gets into the 80s. New Gold Dream is definitely going to be in the 80s. I know it easily. It might be on the high side of the 80s. That's how good New Gold Dream is. So this one might actually be a lot lower than New Gold Dream because of those 2 songs. But it's still on the high side of very good, and it's but it's always an album that I play the first half of, and sometimes I don't pick it up because I know how the second half is. And you know, as much as I played it, I can only really like two songs out of the last five. White Hot Day just doesn't do anything for me. I get that it's good, but it doesn't really do too much for me. I'm probably being a little generous on that score even. Because yeah, it's hard to play the second half of the song. Generally, what I do is I play the first five, and then I'll play "See Moon, Cry Like a Baby," and then forget about the instrumental at the end and just kind of turn it off. But yeah, that's my overall ranking of "Sparkle in the Rain" by Simple Minds. 77 out of 100, really strong. Top three tracks: "Up on the Catwalk," "Speed Your Love to Me," and "East at Easter." Those are my favorite three tracks. Just curious, what's your score for this out of 100? What would you rate this album? And what are your three favorite tracks on this album? All right, thanks a lot. Have a good day.